just last night, no, Friday night, we, actually yesterday morning, you know, we got technical about it, because it was about 1 a.m.
It's a 4 a.m. jump.
But there was supposed to be, we had a young lady guest star on the show, Courtney, and there's a mirror above her that's supposed to crack, and it didn't crack, it exploded. And glass went all over her face and her hair, and luckily she was a good sport about it. Nothing, she did get injured, but they had to like sit there and pick glass out of her hair. They generally just put like a Mylar film over the mirror so that it won't blow out like that. It would just crack and it's safe. But I guess, I don't know whether that particular one, they didn't put the film on or the film was weak and it broke open. But yeah, we've had, I mean, it's...
And there's fire. And there's something catching
oh, yeah,
and,
yeah.
And the
Misha he's holding something that kind of combusts, self-combusts, and it gets on fire. And I reach over and I grab a trash can, and he just throws it in there, and then I pour a pitcher of water on it. But the way that the item landed in the trash can, all of the flames were just coming up my arm. And so, in the mid take, so I reach over.
It'll make the gag reel, don't worry.
Yeah, it probably will. So boom, he throws it in there, and I realize, and I'm just supposed to be like, and I realize, oh, that's, my thumb is like in the fire right now. And so I basically the reenactment was like this. It was like, and I mean, I kept cool in the face, but there was certainly a slight body language of panic that happened. It was like, I got this. And I turn around, I put the trash can down, and we go on the scene. And this is...
I'm getting something to double as a trash can, because that was an incorrect impression. Here's our trash can. So the scene, Dean's being real cool. Something catches on fire, and Dean kind of like walks to the corner and grabs a trash can.
What is that walk?
Holds out the garbage can to Castiel. Castiel throws this thing in. He's like, it was such a good utter. I'm on fire.
So, cut to, I think I pour the water in the can, I turn I set it down, and I step back. Jared's standing here, I'm standing right here, the cameras are pointed at us, and I see Jared just do this. And he's like, turn the other way, and I'm kind of out of the corner of my eye going like, what is he doing? He didn't do that in the last shot. I'm like, he's probably looking at the trash can, it's probably a fire behind me. And he's making sure that it actually went, oh, no, he's hysterically laughing. All the while, the scene's still going on, like there's still dialogue being, and I'm actually saying stuff, but my mind is not, my mind is wondering what the hell is he doing next to me. And I finally, I'm like, what? And he turns around and it's just tears. And he's like beet red. I'm like, what? And he's like, you're freaked out with the fire.
No one else saw it, but I know him so well now.
He knows me so well that he saw just that slight little brief, like, he knew that was not Dean anymore. That was Jensen trying to save his hand from being burned.
I think the honesty, and this sounds bad, but the honest, like, startled surprise makes me laugh. Like, when people are scared or something, I'm kind of like, I'm like, oh, this is fun and scary, but the startled response, for some reason, makes me laugh. And so seeing it on Jensen, like, on fire, just right in the middle of the scene. And like he said, it's a pretty intense scene. And so our young guest star is talking, and a few of our other stars are talking, and I'm like, I'm gonna ruin this.
Yeah, so instead of like just saying, I'm sorry, I'm glad, he just puts his back to the camera as if that's gonna save the scene.
So it happened twice yesterday, alone. So.
But yeah, props and
you had a nice chunk of finger taken off before.
Yeah, my Colt, I was loading it, and the receiver snapped back and took my finger, like the meat of my finger, and just took it right off. And it was right as they yelled action. It was like action. I racked the gun, and then my finger was in. I was like, I pulled it out, and then I could just feel this flap of skin. And so I was like, okay, well that sucks. So I literally just thumbed the flap back down and held it like that for the rest of the scene. And then I looked down and there was just like blood just like dripping off of me. I'm like, oh, okay, well I guess I didn't hide that too well. That's not a nice little scar from that. But yeah, stuff like that. I mean, over 12 years, constantly dealing with those kind of things, special effects, squibs, guns,
Rusting
props,
cars,
blowing up, things self-combusting, fire. There's, luckily nobody's ever been seriously injured.
Season 4, the glass, the real glass.
Oh yeah, when Dean comes back from hell, beginning of season 4, and the angel voices, or they blow, all the glass blows in that convenience, that little gas station. Kim Maynard said it'd be a great idea to use real glass. And so I had to like lay down. I don't know if you've ever laid down in tempered glass before, but it essentially slices you open immediately. So I look down and my hands are just, my forearms are all just sliced up, and I'm like, oh. Yeah, and so we were like eating glass shards out of my arm. And, but again, I healed up, it was fine. There was no serious damage. So nobody's really been seriously hurt. You snapped your wrist.
It's got my wrist. There's a
that was
there's a legitimate piece of my scalp in the prop lockup from the episode when the guy is drinking bleach because one of the bad guys is telling one of the 7 sins or something is telling him to drink bleach. And we have to, again, it was Kim Manners, and he was like, get into the car faster, because Bobby drives his Chevelle through. And I was like, well, Kim, I'm 6'4", and I'm diving into the back with, all right. And so it's like, in action. And we run, I'm kind of like doing my little Tybo to get into it. And I keep banging my head on the top, and I'm like, whatever. Like, I'm trying to get all of me into a little in the back seat. And I was like, I'll just deal with it. And finally, my hair lady, Jeannie Chow at the time, comes up, and she's doing this number, like, fluffing my hair or whatever. And then she looks at me and she goes, huh? And I was like, huh? What? She has like sheer panic in her eyes. And then she goes like this. And looks in like, a clump of hair and a piece of my scalp. Because I
just love that he didn't even feel it. Like,
listen, when you're this tall, you hit your head on stuff a lot. People freak out, I hit my head on something and they're like,
he really is a moose. Like, just like, oh, my scalp, my brain is exposed.
Oh, the cane knife, when he gets done with cane and comes down from the barn, so when we have knives or blades, they're dull on the edge, but the tip is still a point, it's still sharp.
Still do damage.
Yeah, it can still do damage. And so he comes in and he collapses, right? And I kept on.
I had it in my left hand, and I basically did this.
Yeah. Because
literally, I felt it as soon as I was like, oh, that just went his leg.
And so we hold it, and it's like the camera is like on the hub.
And I was like, certainly he's hurting right now.
And then as soon as they call cut,
because
like, dude,
there's a knife in his leg.
Yeah. As soon as they call cut, sure enough, there's a rip in my pant, and my knee got cut open. So it was like blood on my pant. And I was like, oh, huh. He's like, well, we're not seeing it in the shot. And I was like, all right. So I just roll my pant leg up and wrap some gauze around it. But it was like sticking to my legs.
I'm like, did you feel that? Feel what?
There's a door.
There's a door. Too many doors.
Yeah.